Happy Easter from Central Oklahoma. The NBA's best team during the regular season, the Oklahoma City Thunder, begin the quest for their first championship since they resided in Seattle in 1979 as they host the Memphis Grizzlies at Paycom Center in Game 1 of this best-of-7 first-round series. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP frontrunner, led the Thunder to 68 wins, facing off against Ja Morant, who averages 27 points per game in his playoff career. This is Oklahoma City has won the last 9 meetings with Memphis by an average of 17 points per game. We'll see if that trend continues here in Game 1. After being a game-time decision Friday with an ankle injury. Jackson missed the layup, got it back. And Bane all the way to the basket. You rarely see that from Oklahoma City, giving up a layup. Pippen on the attack. And the Thunder get back. Pippen, one of the most improved players this year in the NBA, makes it 4-0 Grizz.
But you've got to play smart. Scottie Pippen pulled that out before he attacked.
Shai leans in and kisses it home off the window. Things were in the West. That's Thomas Izolo. He is the interim coach, replaced Taylor Jenkins, who got fired at the end of March. Morant drains a three, and that's a great sign for the Grizzlies if a 30% three-point shooter can make those.
He was trying to get that cross court to Pippen, and Edey unfortunately caught that one right off the right side of his head.
Hartenstein with a floater. He's got that float game down pat. And Oklahoma City with its first lead. Best defensive team in the league this year in Oklahoma City. And right on cue with a deflection by Hartenstein. Jackson was open in the corner, missed the three. Edey, what a block by Holmgren.
So quickly to Edey, but Chet Holmgren one step and was able to deter him at the rim.
Edey got position down low. At that time, slams it home. Good look on the dump down by Jaren Jackson. Morant doubled. Dort hits the deck. Morant, tough shot. Well defended, Dort. Williams in the open floor. Goes through the lane. Puts it up and in. The double bigs for Oklahoma City give offenses so much trouble. Nice pass by Morant to Conchar. You've got the two best teams in the league in terms
Hartenstein said the push floater didn't become a signature of his until he got to the league. With guys being more athletic and taller, he says it's the easiest shot to get off over top of big defenders. It just feels natural at this point.
0.6 rebounds. They're 6 of 6 as a team at the line. Memphis yet to shoot a free throw. Grizzlies at 37% from the floor so far in the game. Bane on the drive, flips it up, and gets the roll. Desmond Bane with his second field goal. And now the Thunder on the run. Here's Joe for three. Got it! Isaiah Joe, 192 threes during the regular season. Push it. Spot up three. Bane hits it. Fewest first quarter points since December 15th for Memphis, which was number 2 in the NBA in scoring during the regular season. Jaren Jackson Jr. trying to get going. That's his first basket. This is Game 1. Game 2 will be on Tuesday night. The scoop won't fall from Bane. Tracked down by Wiggins. Out to Wallace. Wallace attacking and slamming. Oh, Cason Wallace in transition with the stop. Williams penetrates. Wiggins, same spot, same result. A flurry of threes from the Thunder to go up 25.
And a breakout year for Wiggins. And he has owned Memphis this year. 19 points a game in their 4 matchups. And right now, the Thunder just pouring it on.
Thunder up. Pippen lost his footing, no foul. Another transition opportunity. Showtime, Williams. Pull up three, Williams. And that one's too strong, but Hartenstein another rebound. Williams, great dish. Hartenstein with the score right at the rim.
Against the Golden State Warriors offense. It's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out.
Dort. Three spins out. Offensive rebound and stick back by Wiggins.
On the perimeter, whether it's Shai or whether it's Jalen Williams, Caruso, whoever wants to, can get into the paint right now and force that collapse.
Bane's pass knocked away and stolen by Jalen Williams, 7th in the league in steals. Wiggins the lob. Oh my goodness! Jalen Williams with the one-hand throwdown off the alley-oop.
And As if this crowd needed something more to get energized by. OKC in the open floor, electric.
80 with the putback slam. He's 0 for 5 from 3, 1 of 9 from the floor. This is the kind of day, if you're Memphis, you were dreaming about as Bagley gets the slam. A rough night for Shea. They just don't happen. Final seconds here of the half. They took a point away of that 3 from Jalen Williams. Gilgeous-Alexander finally ends the run of 8 straight misses.
Well, guys, Chet Holmgren says you don't necessarily feel comfortable in the playoffs, but having been through it for the first time a year ago, playing in 10 playoff games, Holmgren says there's a sense of knowing what to expect that settles you down right on cue. I gotta tell you.
The stars for Memphis, Jaren Jackson, 1 rebound and 2 points. John Morant had 11 points, but he was 4 of 11 from the floor. And now the Thunder push their lead to a game-high 37. This is the 1-8 matchup in the West. Boston-Orlando is the 2-7. Dort left alone in front of the Thunder bench, and he drills another 3.
Well for Memphis, and he played well the other night on Friday against Dallas, and he hasn't really been with the team very long, hasn't played much. He's 4 for 4 from the field, as again Memphis gives up an easy basket on a back cut.
Transition for Isaiah Hartenstein with the Thunder. Mark Daigneault said if Hartenstein's not acclimating to your locker room, there's something wrong with your locker room, because he gets along with everyone, he's competitive as hell, he cares about the invisible stuff on both ends,
and then gave him the job at age 35. And he was coach of the year last year, runner-up 2 years ago. Dort, another 3.
Well, it got to the point I thought Lou Dort may be paying rent to occupy the left wing, because he's taken 4 uncontested looks early in the third quarter as Jalen Williams again able to explode at the rim. 10 feet of him on those early looks. OKC not going to take their foot off the gas as you would expect here. Shea downhill. Chet just can't finish.
Joe controls it. Holmgren will let it fly. That's good. 13th three-pointer for Oklahoma City in the third. Too loose and develop some bad habits at the end of game 1, knowing you got to turn around and play game 2 in 2 days.
Now, the best you can hope for right now, if you're Memphis, is try to have some of these guys have a little bit of offensive success here to close out the game.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, most likely, he's out for the year with a broken wrist. Brandon Clark, another important player in the rotation, he's out as well. Bagley underneath, gets the slam. Jackson just 1 of 9, now 1 of 10. Vince Williams, lob, and Bagley with a slam. Mark Daigneault doesn't like what he's seeing right now by Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Presti took over as the Thunder GM in 2007. He's only 47 years old. He's one of the best execs in pro sports. One of a playoff series is 47. Done twice, last in 1995. The Orlando Magic against Boston also happened in 86. Lakers, Spurs, in transition, Wiggins. Jalen Williams. Oklahoma City with 14 threes and a 52-point lead. Oh, three-pointer from half court for Marvin Bagley. Their average margin of victory during the regular season was 12.9. That is the best in NBA history. They were 44 and 29, and they were the 5 seed at that point. They finish as the 8 seed. Again, just 2 behind the Lakers for the 3, as Mitchell swishes home a three-pointer.
Yeah, the answers for the Lakers are going to come on the defensive end of the floor. That's where the adjustment has to come. Minnesota was in rhythm all night.
Wiggins for 3. 2:25 to go in game 1. Game 2 Tuesday night. Nice pass by Williams, and the basket from Wiggins. Chance of OKC raining down from a very happy fan base here in Oklahoma City. Impressive.
Thanks, Dave. Jalen, I don't think you could ask for a better start to a series. What impressed you most about this dominant performance today?
We just did a good job of playing the full game, just competing for the whole entire time.
There's often a question of rust versus rest when you're a higher seed. How do you think that the time off and patiently waiting to play impacted your all's performance?
Well, first, we had a lot of guys that play a lot of minutes, play the rest of the season, so that was big for them. And then I think we did a good job of pacing out practice and having time like that off and making that the best of our ability. And I think we're well rested. Our legs are fresh, and we just did a good job of taking that off time.
You guys were running up and down the court. I mean, your transition game was incredible. How does that take the wind out of another team's sails?
I think it's just hard to play with. Obviously, we're going to get a much better look from them, a hungrier look, so we'll have to plan accordingly. But just transition-wise, both teams like to play fast, and it's something that's hard to guard.
To that point, obviously you have to be proud of today's performance, but how important is it not to get too comfortable, not to expect that kind of effort from Memphis moving forward?
Yeah, we'll be proud for this win for about an hour, and then we got to get right back to the drawing board. There's a lot of stuff that we can do better.
Congratulations.
Cool, appreciate it.